It's time for effort and imagination. It's time to use technology to start your online plans. It's time to work from home to stay in touch. It's time to look to each other. Scoil Céile. Ireland is working online with help from Black Knight and .ie, because now we need better than business as usual. Call Black Knight on 059 918 3027 or visit blackknight.ie.
Create the Premier League atmosphere at home with Harvey Norman, the home of the big screen. Feel like you're on the pitch with our stunning range of 4K smart LED and OLED kick. Save, tackle, decision with LG's best-in-class soundbars. Get TV ready for all the big games with Harvey Norman. Shop online today or safely in our spacious stores. Harvey Norman, home of the big screen.
As Ireland's homegrown insurer, FPD knows it's empowering when someone has your back. So switch your van insurance to us and get up to 75% no-claim discount. Visit fpd.ie to request a quote. FPD Insurance. Support. It's what we do. Terms, conditions and underwriting criteria apply. 75% no-claims discount is based on proof of 5 years no-claims discount and available to new commercial motor customers only. FPD Insurance Group Limited, trading as FPD Insurance, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland. Commercial motor insurance is underwritten by FPD Insurance plc.
123inc.ie have your office needs covered. So whether you're an accountant, butcher, carpenter, dentist, electrician, florist, graphic designer, hairdresser, journalist, lecturer, musician, optician, retailer, teacher, solicitor, web designer, or yoga instructor, we've got what you need. And we're cheaper than your current supplier. 123inc.ie. For home, for office, for less.
You're listening to TalkSport's coverage of Chelsea against Leeds United from Stamford Bridge. I'm your host, Barry Swain. Alongside me, the former Manchester United, Fulham and Chelsea defender, Paul Parker. This is Premier League Live. Both Chelsea and Leeds come into this game on the back of 2 clean sheets. Both have got it right defensively, but in attack, Chelsea come into the weekend joint top scorers in the Premier League, whilst Leeds United's matches this season have generated more shots at goal than any other team. Chelsea made 9 changes in midweek, but those playing second fiddle turned on the style in Spain to beat Sevilla 4-0. Leading the way, Olivier Giroud with 4 goals, and he is one of 2 changes from the side which started against Tottenham Hotspur 6 days ago right here at Stamford Bridge. So Olivier Giroud in for Tammy Abraham, who drops to the bench. Mateo Kovacic also dropping out of the side and onto the bench, and Kai Havertz starting for the first time since late October in the Premier League. So Chelsea lining up with Edouard Mendy in goal, Reece James, Kurt Zouma, Thiago Silva the captain, and Ben Chilwell at the back, Hakim Ziyech, Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, N'Golo Kante and Timo Werner in midfield, and Olivier Giroud in attack. For Leeds United, well, they have only picked up 1 point in their last 8 league matches in London. This is not a happy city for the Whites. No such troubles on Merseyside last week, where they won by 1-0, and they stick with the same 11 that won at Goodison Park. That's Ilan Meslier in goal. A back 4 of Luke Ayling, Robin Koch, Leon Cooper and Stuart Dallas, Raphinha, Mateusz Klich, Jackson Harrison, Calvin Phillips and Urshan Alioski in midfield, and Patrick Bamford in attack. And we're ready and underway. The 2 sets of players have already taken the knee. Paul, we'll just quickly touch on that. I'm not sure if I heard a boo or not there, but there was a championship game at Millwall earlier where there was a boo. In fact, the players are now taking the knee. I'm pleased to say it's applause rather than a boo, but there was boos at Millwall earlier on in the championship, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was, but I mean, I think the Chelsea fans, I think maybe they've done that because Millwall went and booed, so they've done that bit, I think, just to compensate for the fact of Millwall booing it.
And Chelsea are off and underway in their blue shirts and blue shorts. They're kicking towards the shed end in the first half, where the lower tier is populated, along with the stand on the far side. 2 sides of the ground are open. Of course, these supporters all socially distanced, many of them standing, as Mason Mount keeps the ball rolling for Chelsea, who are feeling their way into the game. We're expecting a lot of Leeds United possession, but it's a long ball up towards the on-rushing Hakim Ziyech, who got the shot in, and it was blocked by the feet of Ilya Meslier. It's a decent save by the Leeds United goalkeeper.
Yeah, what a wonderful ball that was by Silva as well. Couldn't pull it any better to him, but the touch as well, Ziyech. First touch was wonderful on the side as well, where the defender Alioski couldn't get to it, but the strike and the save with the feet by the keeper were absolutely fantastic.
Corner to be swung in from the left by Mason Mount. It's a good delivery, and the header from Giroud lands just the wrong side of the post, brushes the side netting, and Chelsea, well, they've had two good chances in the opening minute and a half.
Well, you couldn't ask for a better start really from your team. Maybe the ball in the back of the net would be a great start, but to come straight out and attack a team like they have done already is a wonderful start for Chelsea and Frank Lampard. But Giroud's got there, and he will know he should have scored there. Without a doubt, it was a clear header, and he's just got it completely wrong as he made that, which was a brave run across the front of that Leeds defence.
Nervous start here from Leeds. We're expecting to see Leeds enjoy a fair amount of possession throughout this evening's game. At some point they've barely touched the ball in the opening 2 minutes. They've got the ball now. A header from the goal kick to Ayling, who heads it down. This is Koch, who was limping just a few moments ago. He seems to have shaken that off. Back to the right full-back Luke Ayling, who has been pretty influential for Leeds United this season, and the stats have backed that up. Yes, Alioski, who is operating in that left full-back position. You've got Stuart Dallas, who can also operate there just in front of him. They've got a good partnership going, those two, down the left-hand side of Leeds United, of Alioski and Dallas. But it's Chelsea on the ball once again, and Mason Mount, who's seen the ball as much as anyone in the opening exchanges, turning inside and then going back to the left. Chilwell all the way across to Kurt Zouma, top scoring defender in the Premier League this season. Here's Silva, captain tonight. Another great looking ball into the feet of Ziyech again. He couldn't quite take it that time, and Phillips comes away with the ball, and that's a very good ball into Patrick Bamford, who goes round the goalkeeper, and Patrick Bamford scores for Leeds United. Just over 3 minutes gone, and Leeds United have hardly had a kick in the opening minutes, but a wonderful ball from Calvin Phillips sets away Patrick Bamford, who just cannot stop scoring at the moment. It's his 8th goal in all competitions this season, and it's Chelsea 0, Leeds United 1.
Well, first of all, it started with a wonderful ball from Silva into Ziyech, and then all of a sudden they reacted to that Leeds, and I wouldn't even call it a counter-attack. It just seemed to happen, and Calvin Phillips' ball couldn't be any better, the weight of it. But I don't know what Mendy was thinking about. As me as the defender, I'm doing the job. I'm going to get to that ball first. I don't want my keeper anywhere near it until I've tried to deal with the situation, and he can react off of that. But he sells himself, and I imagine that Kurt Zouma will give him one of the dirtiest looks he's ever given anybody, because the defender made that job easy for Patrick Bamford.
Well, he's kept 9 clean sheets in his 12 Chelsea appearances so far, 5 in the Premier League, and then goes and concedes after just 3 minutes here at Stamford Bridge. But that, from a neutral point of view, Paul, is just what the game needs.
Well, it started off that way. Normally you're trying to say you need a goal for a game, but the way it started, you thought, this ain't bad, this is going to open up into an even better game. But to get the goal, and to get a goal of that calibre as well, it says it. Yes, it's definitely something that's added to this game already.
Kante to Mount trying to pull the ball back, but Leeds United back in numbers to clear the ball up towards the halfway line and beyond. Thiago Silva wrestling with Bamford and keeping possession well. And now Chelsea go again. That's a lovely ball down the left-hand side, and the pullback from Chilwell. Once again, Leeds United, bodies on the line. Good defended there. I think it was Koch that's got the challenge in, the all-important challenge. Raphinha cuts in. Wonderful goal he scored last week to win the game at Everton. It was a late goal that day. Here's Phillips again. Great range of passing. I saw a tweet, and by the way, we are on Twitter at TalkSport Live, wherever you're listening around the world. It'd be good to hear from you. Drop us a tweet, let us know where you are, and a few score predictions maybe. I saw a tweet from yourself, Paul, just reacting to something I think I put on there, but saying about you're a fan of Calvin Phillips, and that was a wonderful ball, and he is a great player, isn't he?
He's becoming he's becoming someone who's everyone's been looking at now, and I saw him play a lot in the Championship, and I liked him in the Championship, and he was far ahead of the Championship as a player, and he's jumped into the Premier League, and you can see he's an even better player playing against good players. It says a lot of what he's achieved already.
Here he is again down that left hand side. Harrison involved again. Will be a throw into Leeds United, midway inside the Chelsea half on the far side. Jack Harrison in the midfield alongside Calvin Phillips as well, and Klich. Some decent players, Leeds United, but they've got to do some defending right now. Werner, haven't seen much of him. To Giroud, and back to Werner again. The two players called into the side for this game, and Werner's shot was pulled wide. It took a deflection though, and Chelsea have another corner.
Again, that was decent build-up play by Chelsea. They've, you know, when they've got on the ball, they've been very productive. They're not going from side to side. They're passing with progression every time they go forward. And Frank, in certain ways, the only thing you can moan about is the goal they've actually conceded, because there's a playing point of view. They're playing quite well.
There's a Leeds United player down at the moment. Diego Llorente is stripped off and ready to come on. So it looks like Leeds are going to be forced into a change. Is it? I think it's Koch, is it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's going to be Llorente who's going to come into the action sooner than he thought. Llorente has been carrying a groin injury. Well, he is a like-for-like player, a central defender, but this is a blow for Leeds United. Koch and Cooper have got a good formation going between them in the heart of that Leeds United defence, and they wouldn't have wanted to lose such a key player so early on. Koch.
No, well, we've seen already Leeds, he likes to keep a settled team, and changes, as far as he's concerned, causes a little bit of disorder, so maybe being this early in the game will allow them, give them more time to settle in, but he's going to have to go straight in with a corner against as well, which is never the ideal time to be forced into a change.
So Leeds United have made the change. And comes Thiago Llorente. Actually picked up that groin injury playing for Spain. The signing from Real Sociedad. He is definitely limping, Koch. I think he picked that injury up in that first minute, didn't he?
Yeah.
Saw him limping. Plenty of bodies in the box. It's a Chelsea corner again on this left-hand side. Again, it's Mason Mount. Whips it into the near post. And surely it's in. I think he stopped it on the goal line. Werner. Werner, I think, stopped it on the goal line. It was going in, and he turned it against the bar.
I cannot believe what he done there, Werner. That was already going in, and if he touches the outside of foot, you'd have a go saying you've nicked a goal from Giroud. But he's actually cleared it off the line, and then he's had the shot himself, and he's hit it on the underside of the bar from almost being underneath the bar. Incredible.
Well, that's one for the Christmas compilation video, isn't it? I mean, that's bizarre. We haven't had a chance to have a look at the replay yet. Leeds United must have thought that's the equaliser, and then suddenly Werner has turned it onto the bar. It's in its slipper. Let's have a look at this. It's Mason Mount's corner. It's flicked on by Giroud. It's going in. He stopped it on the line, and then with a second touch, he's hooked it up in the air and onto the crossbar from literally point-blank range. Yeah, that's an amazing miss.
Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing skill. I think I'm going to call it skill. You can do that. Was it to stop Giroud scoring another one, saying, I haven't scored enough myself, you're not having one? I cannot understand. He sticks his knee in front of it, then he hits it with the outside of his foot from about a yard off the line, hits the underside of the bar, and it bounces out to the edge of the 6-yard spot. And Giroud's reaction is absolutely brilliant, because maybe what come out of his mouth, well, you wouldn't, I suppose a lot of people wouldn't want to hear it, but his reaction says it all to me, that he wasn't happy.
Well, there wasn't a defender on the post, was there? That was an important factor there. Here is Werner. Ziyech. It's a great ball in. Giroud for the header again. Leeds United happy to just clear the ball. I think it was Jack Harrison that just lofted it high up into the air, straight onto the head of Thiago Silva. Leeds United have it back again, and it's Klich who goes to ground and wins a free kick for Leeds United. We're having another look at this. I think this will be played over and over and over again, and I'll I've watched it 3 or 4 times, and I can't understand. All I can think is, looking at it from a separate angle, maybe he thinks it's not going in, he's just got to get a touch, and it does bounce up at him, and
But thing about it, Barry, he's actually going for the ball with the bottom of his studs. To hit that direct, it's more difficult. If he'd gone with his instep, he puts that in, and Giroud would have an argument with him saying, you've nicked a goal off of me. But the fact he's gone with it with a more difficult skill with the bottom of it, the bottom of his boot, and then he bounces up and hits him on a knee, makes it even worse.
Leon Cooper has played the ball back to Meslier. It's a foul on Luke Ayling, and a free kick to Leeds United. We're very happy with the way things have gone so far, and Lady Luck has shined on them just a little.
I must say, I don't think many teams have done this to Leeds since this season, really, because Chelsea have really gone at them. They've closed them down, they've not allowed them to play at all, and Chelsea have really worked them hard. And as I say again, Frank will be happy the way they've started. They've done almost everything right, except for that little bit of decision making from the goalkeepers cost them, but they've made opportunities. Giroud is working well. They're struggling to deal with Giroud, so this game is going to make it an interesting game. It says to me there's going to be goals in this game without a doubt.
Giroud winning that.
More goals, I should say.
Yes,
sorry.
I know where you're coming from, Paul. I think there's going to be goals in this game. More goals, yes, absolutely. Patrick Bamford, it's 8 now for the season, 8 in the Premier League. And he is up there and amongst the top goal scorers in the league. Wasn't expecting that. And of course, one thing we haven't mentioned about Patrick Bamford is he was signed back in 2012 for 1.5 million from Nottingham Forest by Chelsea. He was used very sparingly. He was loaned out 6 times and then eventually moved on to Middlesbrough, I think it was. But the former Chelsea man back to haunt his old club. Here come Leeds again with Harrison. Now, on this near side, Dallas. Wide to Raphinha, into the penalty area. Raphinha looks up, he's got options. One of the options there was Jack Harrison, who'd made a good run into the penalty area. Chelsea have managed to screen the issue and clear the ball away, and in the end it comes off of Harrison and out for a goal kick to Chelsea. But Leeds United, it's their turn there to cause 1 or 2 problems.
Yeah, they've got a few. When the ball gets forward, they are dangerous, Leeds. They do move the ball very quickly, and just looking at Raphinha up against Chilwell now, if you're Chelsea, you'd be a little bit worried, because I don't think Chilwell is a very good one-on-one defender, to be perfectly honest. So I think Raphinha, especially as he's left-footed and he's on that right side, is going to quite enjoy himself, because he will get a lot of space.
Dallas playing the ball down the right-hand side again. Chilwell gets there ahead of Raphinha. Knocked it out of play for a throw into Leeds United. Down towards the corner flag in an advanced position. Frank Lampard hands tucked underneath his arms for warmth. Folded arms from the Chelsea manager. Ayling. Now Raphinha, right hand side for Leeds United. Cuts back onto that left foot as he does there all the time. It's a great ball in again. Jack Harrison was lurking at the back stick. Chelsea do manage to clear it. Reece James. And now Phillips. It's good play from Harrison. This is Klich. Pulls it back. Bamford peeled off his marker, and the shot was on the turn as it came to him, and it came to him hard and fast. And he hit it first time, maybe a touch and then a shot. It's easy said from here, isn't it though, Paul?
Oh, it certainly is. But the thing I will say is that Bamford was standing 2 yards to the side of Thiago Silva, and then he's come off of Silva, and then he's gone in towards Kurt Zouma, and Thiago Silva never said a word to him, so the communication was poor. Patrick Bamford should have hit the target, even though he's in front of the near post. He should have hit the target there, because he was on his own. He had 2-3 feet of space around him, and he could have even had a touch and got shot off if he was aware how far away Chelsea were from him.
Leeds United caused 1 or 2 problems. Chelsea will wonder how they didn't score, and that's a conversation I've no doubt we'll come back to at some stage this evening, myself and Paul here at Stamford Bridge, where we've played 15 and a half minutes listening to Premier League Live. It's Chelsea 0, Leeds United 1 if you're just joining us. A goal in the opening 3 minutes from Patrick Bamford. Since then, Timo Werner has quite literally blocked a Giroud header from going in on the goal line, and with his second touch lofted it against the crossbar from point blank range. It was one worth seeing. Will he make amends? But he's got plenty of time. Here's Kurt Zouma into the feet of Havertz. Tall, elegant German. He has scored in the Cups 4 times this year. It's good pressing by Timo Werner. Appreciation from the Chelsea crowd, and of course Chelsea's first game since March in which spectators have been allowed into Stamford Bridge. So it's the first chance to see the likes of Werner, Ziyech, Havertz, Silva, Mendy, Chilwell. So half this team haven't played in front of the Chelsea fans as Chelsea players before, have they, Paul?
No, they haven't, so it's new to them. I mean, the fans are actually going to see them live, so they'll be the ones, I think, who want to really, get it right. They're going to want their performances to be right, and more importantly, they're going to want their team to win.
And Giroud cushions it to Werner, back to N'Golo Kante. Now Silva, plenty of time and space. Brazilian brings it forward and rolls it to the left. Chilwell, first time ball in towards the edge of the penalty area. Llorente was back there to cushion the header away, but the free kick has been given. The flag is up over on the far side. It was offside against Giroud. Applause from the Chelsea fans. One of the criteria is don't sing, but they do all have their face masks on, and they are socially distanced.
I don't think you're going to stop people singing. You just can't be asking fans not to do that, because that's part and parcel of football to a lot of them.
Here's Giroud, edge of the penalty area. Good interception by Calvin Phillips. Glance, Calvin Phillips and Jack Harrison have got that bobbed haircut. They look very similar, don't they?
Well, you've got Luke Ayling as well.
And Luke Ayling as well. Yeah, I couldn't quite pull that one off, I don't think.
I've got no chance.
Dallas, that's a great ball out wide to Ayling. He's overhit it, but it's a chance for Leeds United off the inside of the post. What a strike that was from Alioski. It was a perfect strike. The flag was up anyway. It would not have counted, but Leeds United very close to a second, but as I say, the flag is up on this near side from Simon Beck, and the goal wouldn't have counted. But that's good play again by Leeds United. It was the initial cross, I think, from Ayling where the flag went up.
And the problem was there is that Luke Ayling was about 3-4 yards offside, and it was a good line by Chelsea, a really steady line, but then you're waiting for the linesman to actually appreciate it and put his flag up, but he didn't put his flag up. They're not allowed to do it. They've got to keep it running, which is totally wrong, really, for that sense, because that takes a lot away from what the team have worked hard to do as a unit.
There's Silva for Chelsea inside the centre circle. N'Golo Kante sideways to Havertz, and now to the right hand side. Ziyech, Kante, Havertz. That hit the arm of Kante. No, says the referee, and he had a good view. Trying to press was Calvin Phillips. N'Golo Kante still got the ball down the line to Reece James, all very tight over there, and it goes out for a throw into Chelsea, taken quickly. Here's Havertz stumbling slightly in possession, and Leeds United profit from that stumble and have the ball again with Phillips, and it's another raking long ball, trying to ask questions. At this time the long ball wasn't to Bamford, it was to Raphinha. It's Chilwell scoots past the presence of Raphinha and up towards the centre circle, and then sends it to the right hand side. Ziyech waiting for the overlap from James with the cross. It was a poor cross, and it was a cheeky back heel from Calvin Phillips, who had the audacity inside his own penalty area to clear with a back heel, but it worked, and it set Leeds off down the left hand side. Jack Harrison winning the throw just inside his own half, which he'll leave for Ersin Alioski.
Yeah, and what we're finding now is Chelsea started ever so well, conceded that goal against a run of play, but Leeds are slowly getting into the game, and by doing that their ball retention's getting better and better, and they're looking more likely side to create an opportunity. Chelsea have been stifled now in their back line, in their front line. They're not making opportunities as easily as what they aim.
Leeds United, before you started talking there, Bob, because they took an awful long time. Today's referee, by the way, I haven't mentioned him yet, Kevin Friend, is having a quick word with the Leeds United midfielder Jack Harrison, who took an awful long time before he took the throw, and that ruffled a few feathers in amongst the Chelsea crowd of 2,000. Here's Werner, 25 yards out, cutting in from the left-hand side, looking for support. He gets it from Havertz, but and it's been won back by Phillips, back to Llorente. Oh, that's a poor clearance by...
he's got to pass that.
It's a poor clearance by Meslier, but he got away with one there, didn't he?
He certainly did, Giroud, and he's looking to try and get on and deal with it himself. He wasn't really set for it. He's done well to nick the ball off the front of Luke Ayling, but he should have given it to Werner. He should have gone to his right-hand side. Werner was then running into the box, and he should have rolled it to him. He's on his own, and he's shot himself, and he ends up scuffing it to the right-hand side. Didn't connect properly. Should have been 1-1.
Cushioned forward by Phillips. Bamford. Haven't seen too much of him, but it's good hold-up play by Bamford. Now he's making the run in towards the penalty area. Klich, and the shot was from distance from Stuart Dallas, and it was one that was going nowhere near the goal. Zouma took the sting out of it, and Chelsea have it back inside their own penalty area. Silva to Chilwell, who lofts the ball down the line. It's been cut out by Luke Ayling, and that's a foul and a free kick to Leeds United just inside the Chelsea half. Dallas is the man who goes down wincing in agony. I think he'll be okay. We've just passed the midway point in the first half, and it's Leeds United that lead here by 1-0. Certainly made it in. Cardello has tweeted us, so we'll come to that tweet in a second, because Leeds United are coming forward once again. Phillips, great ball in again, causing one or two problems in that Chelsea defence. Header by Zouma, away to the right hand side. It's Raphinha up against Chilwell, got the better of Chilwell, and then check back, hit it against Chilwell, and out for a corner to Leeds United.
Well, he's had the ball 3 times, Raphinha, one against Ben Chilwell, and every time those 3 times he's won the battle. He's got a cross in twice, and he's played it off of him to win a corner.
So Leeds United corner, and they lead by 1-0. They've sent forward the 2 central defenders, Diego Llorente and their captain Liam Cooper. Klich to take it on the right hand side. It's an out swinger, met by the head of Havertz. Back to Klich again, the corner taker, not far from the corner flag. Feeds Raphinha, who skips past Werner, but not past Ziyech, who quickly finds Werner. Werner scoops it down the line. Came off of Leeds United player and out for a throw, which is taken quickly by Mason Mount, but that was a misunderstanding between Werner and Havertz, the 2 Germans, and it goes straight back out of play, and a Leeds United throw. Let me quickly come back to the tweet I was going to mention from Chris Cardello, listening from Missouri. Good afternoon to you, lads. What a goal from Bamford, and poor breakdown in the Chelsea defence. Keep up the good work, lads, he says. And he's sent a picture, and looks very nice there, I have to say. Thanks for that, Chris. If you want to tweet us at TalkSport Live, wherever you're listening, we'll give you a shout out if we can. It's Leeds United clear, and they clear long through Cooper, but straight onto the head of Zouma, who climbs high, turns it back into the Leeds half, but not for long. Dallas from Giroud, Werner knocked onto the bar. They've got a little bit flat, and Leeds have looked the likelier, haven't they? They
have really struggled to break down the back 4 of Leeds. Havertz he just hasn't touched the ball, and when he has touched the ball, he's just really just on the peripheral, because he's not doing anything progressive at all.
Here he is on the ball now. He's got Calvin Phillips right behind him. Havertz again trying to make an impact, wide to Ziyech. Ziyech can have a little run at Alioski towards the edge of the penalty area. He's waiting for the overlap again of James. Great ball in for James, and Chelsea are level, and it's Olivier Giroud, the man that just cannot stop scoring at the moment. It's his first Premier League goal of the season, and you can add that to the multitude of cup goals that he's got for Chelsea in blue this season. 4 in the week away at Sevilla. He gets the nod today ahead of Tammy Abraham. Guards faith by scoring on his first Premier League start for quite some time.
Yeah, well, again, Chelsea have scored against a run of play. Ziyech gets on the ball and he makes the run in towards the box and he stops still. James makes the overlap, and it was a wonderful ball in low in towards the near post, and Giroud makes that run across the near post as any good striker would want to do, and he just
in the first couple of minutes from the corner, and then the one that was cleared off the line by his own teammate, and then eventually third time lucky, and it's 1-1. Gary Hoppy has tweeted us at TalkSport Live. He said he's listening to us and to the Chelsea against Leeds game in Bruce Canyon, Utah in the USA. Go Leeds, he says. So I'm sorry to disappoint you, Gary. You see, Chelsea equaliser has just flown into the back of the net. Balogun Hamed Olan Riawaju has tweeted at TalkSport Live, exciting match, more goals to come. I'm sure there is. The applause are from the Chelsea fans because Ziyech has gone down, and it kind of points towards a muscular injury maybe here, Paul. He's being helped off and he's walking off gingerly, holding the back of his leg, holding his hamstring. This might be a problem for Chelsea.
Yeah, well, he's definitely coming off without a doubt. I saw that a couple of minutes ago. He was just telling them, you could see he was nodding to him. He's coming off, and Pulisic is coming on. It's his right hamstring. He's holding up the top end of it, so it's not good. But I'm just looking, he's got those undershorts on as well, so it tells me that's been an ongoing issue, really. And that fact of what he's carrying, you can see he's totally disillusioned. His head is down, very, very disappointed about what's happened to him.
His upper left leg is heavily strapped, it seems, like you say, with the undershorts on as well, but he was holding his right leg, wasn't he? And yeah. Chelsea are not going to take any chances there, and he's straight down the tunnel, his head bowed. He's obviously very disappointed. Ziyech has parted company. Just the one Premier League goal from him so far this season. Olivier Giroud's goal was on 27 minutes, and finally we get restarted again, and Leeds are on the front foot with Phillips wide to Harrison. Harrison looks up, deep cross from him, but it's over the head of everybody and straight out for a goal kick. We've played half an hour. Chelsea 1, Leeds United 1.
Yeah, and it's been a good game. Two sides who, when they've hit their poor parts of the game, their better parts of the game, they've gone and conceded. Leeds were just kind of getting control of the game, not outstandingly, but just when they were getting in that final third, they just looked a threat. And Chelsea have pulled one out of the bag. The first time Reece James has made a run forward, had an overlap, and they've gone and scored a really good goal.
Long ball forward from Chelsea, straight onto the midriff of Olivier Giroud, chested it down, but the ball was wasted by Mason Mount, straight through to goalkeeper Meslier. And everything, both goalkeepers have prone to errors. Both teams have had to make a change through injury. There's another error here and a chance for Chelsea, but Pulisic couldn't bring it down quick enough. And again, it was sloppy defending from Leeds United inside their own penalty area.
Yeah, not renowned for their defending, Leeds, and I think everyone knows that by the amount of goals they conceded. But the problem is that they can score goals, they can put teams under pressure if you allow them to play. Chelsea are trying to stop them doing that. They were doing that in the early part of the game. Now Leeds have taken the tempo out of the game. They've slowed it down and allowed themselves to set up to attack Chelsea.
Leeds United have seen a lot of the ball since conceding. Here's Ayling, foul on Calvin Phillips, and a free kick to Leeds United just inside their own half. We're just looking at that clearance from Llorente. It was a very poor one, under pressure from Werner, but Chelsea unable to punish them on that occasion.
That's what happens sometimes when you're virtually told you have to play out from the back, and you end up in some serious situation. Sometimes you're better off pulling it out for a corner rather than playing across your box.
Klich. It's helped on by Dallas, and on the end of it was Alioski. He was running out of room, tried to squeeze the cross in and ended up putting it into the side netting. And out for a goal kick to Chelsea. Eman Media has tweeted us at TalkSport Live. You guys are doing a great job. I see a 2-2 draw. Alioski with another goal. We're listening via the radio station in Abadan, southwest Nigeria. Keep it up, he says. We'll certainly try. And Chelsea going long towards Giroud, which is always tempting when you've got someone like him to aim at, but on this occasion Leeds were equal to it. But here's Mason Mount, squeezes the ball inside but eluded everyone and runs straight through to Calvin Phillips, who just smacks it downfield, and it's been turned into touch by Thiago Silva. Paddy Fields has tweeted us, good morning from Luoyang in China. Pulisic to get 2 for a 3-1 win for the mighty Blues, he says. That's Paddy Fields. Well, thanks for tweeting us, Paddy, at TalkSport Live. If you are listening, drop us a tweet. 33 and a quarter minutes gone, to be absolutely precise. Chelsea 1, Leeds United 1. It was always one of the games of the weekend, this one. It was the one that raised as many eyebrows as any. And so far, Paul, it hasn't disappointed us, has it?
No, it certainly hasn't. But I mean, we know why everyone who's football orientated would talk about this game. It's just the history between the two clubs. And I'll go to it again. It would have been fantastic if there was a crowd in there. What this game would have been all about then, it definitely would have been a little bit more spicier than what it is this moment in time. But the reason why it's at the moment we're talking about for the right reasons is there's been good football played in it so far.
There's Klich. And again, Alioski. Ayling tries to get the cross in, hands behind his back there from Thiago Silva, wasn't taking any chances, the Chelsea skipper, and it's been turned behind for a corner to Leeds United. Chelsea and Leeds, and indeed the Premier League, supporting the Stonewalls Rainbow Laces campaign for this weekend and next weekend's match. And for Chelsea, they're also doing it for their women's game tomorrow, for a very good cause. It's an awareness that really does need to be taken care of by football, and it is this weekend. In comes the corner from Klich. It's away by Zouma. Only as far as Alioski, who helps it on. Giroud is back there defending with his chest again. Down to James, who volleys it away, but only as far as Stuart Dallas, the Northern Ireland international. He's played in every game this season in the Premier League for Leeds United. Looking to make their presence felt going forward. Alioski is predominantly a left back, but he's playing as a winger at the moment, up against Reece James, causing problems, working hard. I think the throw-in has gone the way of Chelsea on this occasion.
Yeah, I thought he actually caught Reece James just before it went out, but he didn't. Alioski has pushed on. He is a midfield player as such, playing in that left back position, but he is a little bit terrier-like the way he gets about. Definitely one who wants to get close to people and really close them down and get on the ball himself, because he can play when he gets on the ball.
Here is Harrison again, fed by an inch-perfect pass under pressure from Phillips, who just cushioned a volley 20 yards to his left and right into the path of Harrison. But Chelsea have it back now down their left-hand side. It's a long ball forward by Chilwell, not particularly good, but it might come from Mason Mount, and it's taken off of Mount by Llorente, and the substitute weighs up his options as he heads up towards the halfway line. It's a poor ball straight back to Chelsea again with Chilwell. Now Thiago Silva. There's plenty of time and space. Sends it to the left-hand side, and Werner. Zouma in on the act, and Chilwell as well. He's got purple shirts all around him. Say purple, they're burgundy, aren't they? These Leeds away shirts. They won at Everton last week in them, and they've stuck with them again today. I think it's their third strip, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. What's their second strip?
Blue. I think I did look this way. I think it's like a navy blue, and so they obviously couldn't wear that. And white. Well, he could have worn white, but he had to change the socks, and they just went for this third strip.
Yeah, but no one goes for their traditional away strips. I mean, maybe I'm an oldie, but I just think Leeds away from home would just be yellow.
Yellow, yep. Ball forward by Chelsea up towards Chilwell. They let it run across him, and that It'll probably cost him in the end. It was going out for a goal kick. Chilwell continued to chase it and stopped it from going out for a goal kick. Instead, prods it into touch for a throw into Leeds United, right down by the corner flag.
He's tried to actually take that with a difficult skill when he didn't need to. He just had to make sure he could just get it on, just get the ball under control. He was under a little bit of pressure from Raphinha, and he's tried to maybe be a little bit too clever and trying to catch it on his instep, and there was no need for him to do that, Chilwell.
The ball is pumped up in the air by Chilwell. Kante. Pulisic, chance for him to run at the Leeds United defence. Mason Mount is crowded out, still trying to smuggle it through to Kante. Now Pulisic again on this left hand side, weaving his way into the penalty area. Good skills from him, ends up turning it against the ankles of Ayling and behind for a Chelsea corner.
I'm a big fan of Pulisic, just when he gets in the area. You saw the Chelsea players, if they was half a yard next to him in the box, they suddenly dropped off to a full yard because they were scared of his quick feet, and you could just see the way he was shifting. He was waiting for one of them just to dive in, and he would have been straight past him. He has got really good feet in tight areas. He just needs a run of games again to get his form back.
Mason Mount to take this corner for Chelsea. 7 minutes from half time. Mount whips it in low. It's turned away by Bamford, I think it was. Bamford continues his run upfield, but Chelsea have the ball. Last outfield player on the halfway line, all on his own, was Kante. He wasn't going to take any chances and sends it back to Mendy. Not the greatest of clearances by the Chelsea goalkeeper. And Reece James was being held by Bamford. A little bit of afters between those two, and then Zouma steps in and sends his teammate running away before there's any further altercation. Bamford is a big, strong striker. He's a menace, he's a pest. He's having a fabulous time of things at the moment, though, isn't he, Paul?
He certainly is. He's a grafter. When I saw him play first time in the live game at Crystal Palace, I'm just amazed how hard he works off the ball. And yes, he scores goals, but I'll tell you what, he must make goals. He makes so many unselfish runs. He closes down. He got involved with Reece James. I don't know why he did, but he wasn't shirking the battle with Reece James. I mean, Reece James is a big, strong boy as well, but he's willing to put himself in there. But his face never gave away anything there. His face wasn't showing aggression.
Good evening to Tom Goodwin, who's tweeted us at TalkSport Live. Thank goodness Giroud gets his Premier League goal, or young Timo would have had an earful all weekend, but he probably still will, to be honest. Great goal from the great player that he is, Giroud, and a great team, and the icing. Great commentary too, guys, he says. Thank you very much, Tom. It's 1-1 here, and half-time is creeping up on us, just over 5 minutes, as Kante wins the ball back for Chelsea in the air. Turned forward by Kurt Zouma, up in the air. It's one good thing with Chelsea, knocking up in the air, and you know that Giroud is going to be there or thereabouts on the end of it.
Oh, he'll go for everything, and if he can't win it, cleanly, he will make it difficult for the centre half. Harrison
to Bamford. Bamford tackled inside the penalty area well by Zouma, but Bamford carries on his run down the left and picks it up. It's Alioski to left back, and they've only got 4 at the back, Leeds, but they're still pushing him forward, and they're not afraid to commit bodies forward. Here's Ayling, again a fullback playing in an advanced position. The ball into the box was an interesting one. Mendy had to stretch with one arm. He ended up doing very well and bowls it out to the German Kai Havertz, who just rolls it to Kante. And now Silva. Chelsea just slowly making their way up to the halfway line. The game has got a little bit sleepy after such a lively start. Still think there's a lot to offer out there. Chelsea will be pleased they've got themselves back on level terms after falling behind so early on. Silva. Sudden burst of pace from the veteran defender. Pulisic. Werner tries to drive it across a crowded 6-yard box, and the Leeds United captain Liam Cooper deflects it comfortably behind for a corner to Leeds United.
Yeah, he's done well.
Chelsea.
Yeah, he's done well there, Werner, as well, because Werner initially made a run in behind Alioski, and because he's not a left back in that situation, he fell for it, and he's dropped off Werner by about 4 or 5 yards, and it allowed Werner then to really pin him down by driving straight at him and earning a corner.
Chelsea have kept a Premier League high 5 clean sheets this season. That was quickly out the window this evening. They have managed to claw their way back into the contest thanks to Olivier Giroud. Corner is whipped in. Climbing high was Chilwell. Very nearly came to Giroud to jump ahead of himself. Meslier to claim the ball and then quickly bowls it out to Ayling, who wastes no time in lofting a long ball down that right flank towards Jack Harrison. Kante gets there first and comfortably knocks the ball into the path of Pulisic. Back to Kante again, inside his own penalty area. Poor ball from him is cut out by Llorente. And then Dallas finds his skipper Liam Cooper, Scottish international. Signed back in 2014 for a snip at 500,000 from Chesterfield. He's come on leaps and bounds since then, of course. Giroud on the halfway line for Chelsea, finding Chilwell. Chilwell floats it forward, helped on just about by Pulisic, but Cooper deals with it. There's a little lull in the game at the moment. I think it needs half time, doesn't it, Paul? I
think it does, and the players need that break. I think they've really gone at it. Just talking about the centre halves here, the one thing that Leeds are missing that back line really is Ben White, who obviously Brighton kept him on, but he made such a difference to him in the Championship last season.
Yeah, he's big loss for them. They were hoping to sign him and they tried several times to prize him away from the South Coast, but Brighton were having none of it. They knew they had a talent on their hands and it needed to be big money to take him off their hands. A minute and a half to go to half time. Here's Raphinha, gets a cross in, stretching to clear. There's Zouma into touch on the far side for a throw in to Leeds United, and Raphinha has swapped flanks at the moment with Jack Harrison.
Yeah, he does cause a problem. I mean, he's gone round. Reece James isn't easy to beat. He's a big strong boy and he's quick as well, and Raphinha's got round him. It's very rarely you see anybody who wants to go past somebody on the outside. He done it as if like it's just a walk in the park.
Luke Ayling. Here is Harrison, his newfound home on the right hand side for now at least. Won by Llorente, Tom by Ayling once again. Chelsea clear through Chilwell. High ball up towards the halfway line, but Leeds have it back again. It's been turned to the left by Phillips, but Alioski was unable to put control on it, and suddenly Timo Werner is away, right hand side in towards the penalty area. Still Werner tries to get the cross in. It's very good defending by Liam Cooper. Got across there and made the block at the right time, in the right place.
Yeah, well, he held off. He didn't go out too early because he's worried about leaving the gap at the near post, Liam Cooper, and he's gone out and his timing was impeccable, because as Werner's got his head down then to deliver, he's just come out from that near post area and just blocked it and took the ball out, and Leeds have got possession back again.
Excellent defending by their captain. It's Harrison, on loan from Manchester City, a former teammate of Frank Lampard at New York City. There's Calvin Phillips, happy to just pick out Llorente. It's been given away sloppily by Dallas. Luckily for him, he runs straight through to a teammate, Llorente. And here's Cooper to start again for Leeds United. As we move into the 3 minutes of added time that have been signalled by tonight's fourth official, Simon Hooper. Michael Oliver and Sean Massey Ellis are VAR tonight, and we're hoping we don't hear from them. So far so good. Two managers side by side down on the touchline in their technical areas, and right in front of them is Ben Chilwell taking this throw in, helped on by Pulisic towards Olivier Giroud. Got trod on there, Giroud, but I think it was Calvin Phillips trod on his foot. He'll be okay. Referee says play on. There's Raphinha to Phillips again, bit of time and space just inside his own half. He's not afraid to pick a pass from range, and he tries to set Bamford away down the channel. He was unable to control, and down goes Raphinha, knocked over by Kai Havertz. No fouls as the referee. And here come Chelsea down the left. Pulisic trying to pick out Chilwell, who got forward well from the left back position, but Leeds were on the scene to win the ball back. Stuart Dallas keeps it moving. Raphinha comes in from the left-hand side. He is predominantly left-footed, Raphinha, but that was a left-footed pass. It went straight to N'Golo Kante and handed the initiative back to the home side. But it was a poor pass from Kante, and Leeds have it back once again. Alioski floats one in towards the penalty area. Had to stretch there, Silva, to get the header away. It was important he did. He had a Leeds United player, Bamford, peeling off in behind. And off goes Giroud. Pulisic rather, not Giroud.
Giroud doesn't move that quick.
No, I was going to say it was the 18 on the back and the 10. I was looking at numbers and nothing else there. Here's Reece James into the penalty area. Reece James looks up, drills it across, and it was kind of between the legs of Olivier Giroud. He was in two minds whether to flick control or leave. Three minds really, not two. He ended up doing none really. It was left, and it went straight through and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, it was a difficult one for Reece James to pick anyone out because he was coming in at an angle, and Giroud and I think Pulisic were almost in behind, and it was a difficult ball for him to knock. There was more hope than anything when he drove that ball across there. Any kind of touch to hit the target there would have been deemed a little bit of good fortune, really.
Well, there goes the half-time whistle, and it's certainly been an entertaining first half. Chelsea behind very early on through a goal from Patrick Bamford, but Olivier Giroud with the equaliser at half-time. It's Chelsea 1, Leeds United 1. You're listening to Premier League Live.
Demanding a high performance from your team? You should be demanding the same from your tyres. The Irish Tyre Industry Association is urging motorists to stay safe this winter and check the condition of your tyres. You could even be liable for a fine and 2 penalty points if found driving with tyres below the legal tread depth limit of 1.6 millimetres. ITIA expert technicians will carry out a free tyre safety check to ensure your tyres are safe and legal. Visit itia.ie to find your local expert.
As Ireland's homegrown insurer, FPD knows it's empowering when someone has your back. So switch your van insurance to us and get up to 75% no-claim discount. Visit fpd.ie to request a quote. FPD Insurance. Support. It's what we do. Terms, conditions and underwriting criteria apply. 75% no-claims discount is based on proof of 5 years no-claims discount and available to new commercial motor customers only. FPD Insurance Group Limited, trading as FPD Insurance, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland. Commercial motor insurance is underwritten by FPD Insurance PLC.
Upgrade your home viewing experience at Curry's PC World. See every tackle, shot and goal in crystal clear definition with our huge range of the latest to market large screen TVs with massive savings. Like save up to €250 on Samsung 4K TVs from only $459. And get your TV for half price. 1 in 20 win half their money back. Buy any LG OLED TV to enter with prices from just $1,249. Shop online at currys.ie.
Get ready and hold on tight because the Premier League is here! Which teams will stay on track and who'll go off the rail? Get the Irish Sun for top transfer news, exclusive star interviews and opinions from the biggest names in football. Plus expert analysis of every action-packed match in our fantastic goals pull-out each weekend. Stay up to speed because you never know what the Premier League is going to throw up. Pick up the Irish Sun today.
Introducing Guardson Sport. Protect your sporting equipment from COVID-19 for up to 14 days with Guardson Sport disinfectant treatment. Ideal in team sport settings with the sharing of balls, rackets, gloves, helmets and all other sporting equipment. Guardson Sport kills COVID-19 on impact, keeping surfaces free from COVID-19 and other viruses and bacteria for up to 14 days by creating a protective polymer layer on application. For more information on Guardson Sport and other quality assured, certified and approved PPE, visit yourcovidprotection.com.
At Paddy Power, we know competition for the remote control can be fierce at the weekends. So in order to give the non-football loving occupants of your house something to do, here are some of our top suggestions. Go for a walk. Walk the dog. Go cycling. Cycle the dog. Recycle the dog. Just go! All very good options, we say. And that's not the only one. If one leg of your 4+ fold ACCA lets you down, get a free bet on all football leagues and markets. Paddy Power. Max free bet €10. Min odds 1 to 5 on each leg. Online exclusive. Excludes shop bets. T's and C's apply. 18 plus. Need help? Visit gamblingcare.ie.
Half-time here at Stamford Bridge. It's Chelsea 1, Leeds United 1. Let's remind ourselves of how the first half unfolded. Hakim Ziyech who got the shot in, and it was blocked by the feet of Ilya Meslier. It's a decent save by the Leeds United goalkeeper. Corner to be swung in from the left by Mason Mount. It's a good delivery, and the header from Giroud lands just the wrong side of the post, brushes the side netting, and Chelsea, well, they've had two good chances in the opening minute and a half. Phillips comes away with the ball, and that's a very good ball into Patrick Bamford, who goes round the goalkeeper, and Patrick Bamford scores for Leeds United. Just over 3 minutes gone, and Leeds United have hardly had a kick in the opening minutes, but a wonderful ball from Calvin Phillips sets away Patrick Bamford, who just cannot stop scoring at the moment. It's his 8th goal in all competitions this season, and it's Chelsea 0, Leeds United 1. Mason Mount whips it into the near post, and surely it's in. I think he stopped it on the goal line.
I cannot believe what he done there, Werner. That was already going in, and if he touches the outside of foot, you'd have a go saying you've nicked a goal from Giroud. But he's actually cleared it off the line, and then he's had the shot himself, and he's hit it on the underside of the bar from almost being underneath the bar. Incredible.
Great ball in for James, and Chelsea are level, and it's Olivier Giroud, the man that just cannot stop scoring at the moment. He gets the nod today ahead of Tammy Abraham, and he repays Frank Lampard's faith by scoring on his first Premier League start for quite some time. So that's the way of things at the halfway house here in West London. Chelsea 1, Leeds United 1. Paul Parker alongside me. Paul, plenty to talk about. It opened up very, very quickly, this game. Chelsea had a couple of very good chances, and then suddenly, bang, Leeds United is what they're all about, isn't it? Calvin Phillips, wonderful ball, and I think that wonderful ball deserves all the credit because it had Chelsea at 6s and 7s, and Mendy didn't know what to do, did he?
Yeah, well, I mean, the ball was a wonderful ball in the context of it was a better ball because of Bamford's run. Bamford doesn't run, we say it's a wasteful pass. Bamford, in the had belief that Bamford was going to make that run in behind Zouma, which he done, and he put the right weight on the pass, but that weight on the pass should have been should have been for him to run maybe wide of the goal, but it was made easier for him because Mendy has thrown himself out of the edge of the box. Thiago Silva was coming from the other side as well. He wouldn't have got a shot off if Mendy stays back and doesn't make the decision to come to the ball. So, you know, everything says to me it was a big mistake by Mendy, especially, you know, he's done well recently in not conceding, but he gave Leeds that opportunity to get in front.
It's funny, isn't it, because Leeds United scored against the run of play, and then Chelsea go and equalise just as Leeds are enjoying a little bit of pressure of their own, and another familiar man on the score sheet, Olivier Giroud. I know it's his first league goal of the season, but he's in the right place at the right time, and he's the in-form striker at the moment, isn't he?
Well, he is. I mean, when people always talk about in-form striker, just talking about goals, if it was about goals, Giroud would be struggling. No, he would struggle to get a team, but he's more than just a goal scorer. Players appreciate him. He's one of those players who'll always be in a fight to be Players' Player of the Year. He's honest, he works hard, he's unselfish, he holds the ball up. Yes, he's good in the air. When I say he's good in the air, he just doesn't flick it on. He guides, tries to get balls into people's feet. He's thinking about it. Every time the ball comes in towards him, he's thinking, who's available if I win this ball? So he's just a team player.
He's scored now, Olivier Giroud, in each of his last 6 Premier League starts for Chelsea. His last start was the last game of last season back in July, away at Anfield against the champions Liverpool. Of course, 4 goals in midweek in the Champions League. We keep talking about this. We've got to go back to this Timo Werner. I've watched it again from the angle on the near side, and I've kind of got a little bit of sympathy for him because was it going in? I think it was, but the angle on the camera on the near side and our monitor suggests it was marginal. Maybe it might have hit the inside of the post, I'm not sure. So he needed to react, but he reacted all wrong, didn't he?
He did, and I think most forwards are going to go for that. They are going to go for that, and then they'll argue about it after. But it's just the contact he made. For me, it was the wrong selection. Just to go with the bottom of his boots, really, the way that's what he tried to do, and he missed the ball. He just missed it, and it's come up and it's gone with it. It's come off with his knee and gone back out again, and then he's tried to react after that, and he's hit the under the side of the bar from almost virtually being under the underside of the bar. So it's terrible the way it worked out with them going behind the run of play, but fortunately for him, Giroud has got him out of jail.
Olivier Giroud with the equaliser on 27 minutes after a great ball in from the right-hand side from Reece James. We said all along that this game has got more goals. Even at 1-1 we're saying there's more goals. I'm sure there are more goals in this game, aren't there, Paul?
Yes, so there is, just the way both teams are going. Leeds really don't really want to do low-scoring games. They like the game open, and they just want to score as many goals as possible. And if you are going to play that open, that means you're going to leave yourself kind of open as well defensively. And if you haven't got defenders who majority of the time are good in 1-against-1 situations and can read about being in areas in space, then you've got a big problems, as Liverpool, as they found out Leeds at the start of the season when they played Liverpool in that draw. So Leeds just make games look good games because they keep it open.
Burnley 1, Everton 1 was the scoreline in the lunchtime kick-off today. Then Manchester City beating Fulham by 2-0, and West Ham ahead at half-time, but they ended up losing 3-1 at home to Manchester United. Let's hear from the West Ham United manager, David Moyes, who felt that he was let down today by the officials.
I thought we deserved more evening with the first 15 minutes of the second half as well. I thought we had played really well, and probably the disappointing thing is that we didn't go and get a second goal when we were in top, because Manchester United, as you know, have got players who are capable of hurting you. But we didn't expect it to be a decision that hurt us like the one we got tonight, and we've been fortunate in recent games. We've picked up some good decisions that have gone our way, but I think this one was a really strange one, and the ball was out.
That was David Moyes bemoaning a decision that ended up costing his side anything from the game against Manchester United. Paul, the goalkeeper's cleared that ball out for West Ham United, and for Manchester United, Robin. It's curled and it's slightly gone out of play. Looks like it's almost gone over the head of the technical area. Curled back in, and the referee's played on. I suppose in defence of the officials, how do you know if it's gone out if the assistant referee hasn't put his flag up?
Well, yeah, that's exactly right, and you just wonder, if he's watching the game, the assistant referee, whatever end he's at, he would actually see that ball would have gone out. Not unless he's watching the game, and there's a good chance that they might be watching the game because they're only human. But somewhere along the line, I just think to myself, you've got to look at the reaction of everyone around. If you see David Moyes, you see the bench, you see people's reactions. Sometimes you can get the truth from that if the technical side of it is not going to help you. So that cost West Ham an opportunity, really, and they'll call that a game changer.
Well, second half coming right up. You are listening to Premier League Live.
What will you really gain from using anabolic steroids? Using illegal anabolic steroids can lead to nasty and serious side effects, both physical and psychological. Heart failure, infertility, hair loss, acne, mood swings, increased aggression. Don't lose out to steroid gains. Know the risks. Visit zerogains.ie. A message from the Health Products Regulatory Authority.
100% new, still 100% Caddy. The 5th generation all-new Caddy Cargo is more innovative, dynamic and efficient than ever before. With €1,500 purchase contribution plus a Caddy Cargo service plan for €9.99. Contact your local Volkswagen commercial vehicles dealer or visit volkswagenvans.ie to reserve yours now. T's and C's apply.
There's certain matchday sounds we are all missing. But there are others we don't have to. Is Carlsberg Pilsner the best beer to enjoy while watching the match at home? Probably. Carlsberg Pilsner. Probably the best beer in the world. Enjoy Carlsberg sensibly. Visit drinkaware.ie.
This is not the time for business as usual. It's time for effort and imagination. It's time to use technology to start your online plans. It's time to work from home to stay in touch. It's time to look to each other. Scá Céile. Ireland is working online with help from Black Knight and .ie, because now we need better than business as usual. Call Black Knight on 059 918 3027 or visit blackknight.ie.
Create the Premier League atmosphere at home with Harvey Norman, the home of the big screen. Feel like you're on the pitch with our stunning range of 4K smart LED and OLED TVs from LG, starting from just $449. Plus, hear every kick, save, tackle, decision with LG's best-in-class soundbars. Get TV ready for all the big games with Harvey Norman. Shop online today or safely in our spacious stores. Harvey Norman, home of the big screen.
As Ireland's homegrown insurer, FPD knows it's empowering when someone has your back. So switch your van insurance to us and get up to 75% no-claim discount. Visit fbd.ie to request a quote. FBD Insurance. Support. It's what we do. Terms, conditions and underwriting criteria apply. 75% no-claims discount is based on proof of 5 years no-claims discount and available to new commercial motor customers only. FBD Insurance Group Limited, trading as FBD Insurance, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland. Commercial motor insurance is underwritten by FBD Insurance plc.
123inc.ie have your office needs covered. So whether you're an accountant, butcher, carpenter, dentist, electrician, florist, graphic designer, hairdresser, journalist, lecturer, musician, optician, retailer, teacher, solicitor, web designer, or yoga instructor, we've got what you need. And we're cheaper than your current supplier. 123inc.ie. For home, for office, for less.
You're listening to TalkSport's coverage of Chelsea against Leeds United from Stamford Bridge. I'm your host, Barry Swain. Alongside me, the former Manchester United, Fulham and Chelsea defender Paul Parker. This is Premier League Live. Leeds United making their way out of the tunnel for this second half. Ahead inside the opening 3 minutes through Patrick Bamford. The Olivier Giroud equaliser has Chelsea 1-1 at half-time. Just waiting on the Chelsea players, and then we'll see if there's any further changes at half-time. Both sides have been forced into changes. Robin Koch taken off injured early doors for Leeds United, replaced by Thiago Llorente, who's only just come back from a groin injury himself, and Christian Pulisic is on for the injured Hakim Ziyech, who was holding his hamstring, and you suspect that might be a little bit of a while on the touchline before he's back fit again. We shall wait and see. Chelsea making their way out. The generous applause from the 2,000 crowd inside Stamford Bridge, which incidentally is the lowest crowd ever to watch Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. 3,000 people watched the second division game against Lincoln City here in, I think it was 1932. I did write it down earlier and I've lost a piece of paper. I think it was 1932, but it was certainly a few years ago, and that's been broken today. So, you know, with all the good things about crowds coming back, this is the record lowest crowd for Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, but within reason. Leeds United ready to get this second half underway. Indeed, there are no further changes to the changes made by both teams in the first half. So Chelsea in their blue shirts, blue shorts and white socks. Edouard Mendy in goal, Reece James, Kurt Zouma, Thiago Silva and Ben Chilwell at the back, and then a midfield of Christian Pulisic, Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, N'Golo Kante and Timo Werner. And quickly Chelsea on the attack. Olivier Giroud, by the way, is the front man. On the bench, Kepa, Antonio Rudiger, Jorginho, Azpilicueta, Tammy Abraham and Kovacic. For Leeds United, Meslier in goal, Ayling, Llorente, Cooper the captain and Alioski at the back, Raphinha, Klich, Dallas, Phillips and Harris in midfield and Bamford in attack. On the bench for them, Struijk, Pavida, Helder Costa, Rodrigo, Tyler Roberts and goalkeeper Kiko Casilla, former Real Madrid goalkeeper. And in goes Llorente, the header, and that's out for a throw into Leeds United. And Chelsea starting this second half on the front foot with a throw-in midway inside the Leeds United half. On the far side, they're kicking towards the Matthew Harding stand in this second half, where there are no spectators, just two sides of the ground populated. It's Leeds that are attacking the lower tier shed, which is populated, but they're attacking the upper tier shed as well, but that's empty. There's Havertz moving it to his fellow German Werner. Boos because Leeds United have a player down injured, Raphinha, who's holding his ankle, and Chelsea are forced to kick the ball out, and there will be some attention now for the Brazilian.
Yeah, well, I have to say is that he's stepped inside and he slips, but what happens is Kante, as he moves to get the ball, he actually just catches him with the end of his fingers on his mouth. So he's looking for a foul like that. He's stayed on the floor like that. Chelsea have stopped their play. I think Chelsea are wrong to stop playing. Thiago Silva stopped when he shouldn't have done, and all it was, he's just got a little slap on his lip, and all of a sudden he kills the momentum of Chelsea.
2 minutes into the second half. Chelsea 1, Leeds United 1. Quick reminder, we are on Twitter at TalkSport Live. Bernard Tellers has tweeted us at TalkSport Live. This match will end up 2-2. He's listening from Lagos in Nigeria. Here's Kante in an advanced position. Don't usually see him that far forward. Giroud feeds it to Chilwell on the left-hand side. Comes inside. Raphinha gets a challenge in, but it still falls to Pulisic. Back to Havertz. Now it's Werner. Skims past Alioski. And finds Pulisic. Pulisic turns on the burners and feeds it to the left-hand side. It's an interesting ball fed in by Chilwell, but it's straight at goalkeeper Ayling Meslier. Only 20 years old, French under-21 international. He's had the nod for pretty much all of this season, but the French goalkeeper, only a youngster still at 20 for a goalkeeper, was a bit of pressure there. He did get it away just in the nick of time. Here's Havertz. Werner. He had to be careful there, Paul, didn't he, the young goalkeeper?
I don't know if anyone heard me. I just thought he was going to get caught out there, but he was cool as a cucumber. It was a lovely ball he knocked out as well after being put under serious pressure from his own defender to deal with a situation, but he handled it very well for such a young lad. It's big praise, really, to have a manager just believe in you that much that you're playing regular football in the English Premier League.
Phillips has just taken one in the face, and it's a good job he did, really, because Werner was through on goal if he didn't get some sort of block. Instead it's a throw into Chelsea. Here's Reece James. It's his 50th appearance for Chelsea today. He's 21 this coming Tuesday, and he's already got 4 England caps. As a right back yourself, Paul, how do you rate Reece James?
I like Reece James, I really do. I just think the wing back system suited him when he made his debut. And he played really well, and I've just liked him. For the moment I saw him for Chelsea, I just liked the way he played, and he's getting better and better every time I see him play, and I'm just looking at him as someone who could play regularly for the country. Just he seems to suit international football as well.
He's big and strong as well for a young player. He's certainly took to first team football very quickly for Chelsea. It's been solid again. His sister, Lauren, plays for Manchester United and got an England call-up herself last month. So in the international break, that took place for women's football just in the last couple of weeks. So she's an England international as well. So they're keeping it in the family. Here's Llorente. Long ball forward for him. Straight onto the head of Zouma. And now Chelsea could go again. Moving through the gears with Mason Mount. Wide to Pulisic, pulls it back to Chilwell, quickly finds Pulisic again. Chilwell's gone on the outside, but Pulisic comes on the inside, shot is charged down, loops up in the air off of Llorente and into the arms of Meslier.
Well, that just started off as almost a counter-attack, and it ended up just in general play. Leeds got so many players back in the end. Chelsea just really need to quicken the tempo up in the final third and just catch Leeds while they're kind of all stretched out, because they're not the most compact team anyone's going to play against.
Phillips to Klich on the left-hand side, checks back. Now Harrison drives it into the box, but solid header away. Chelsea start again, and that's a foul on Mason Mount. Oh no, it's not, it's Havertz.
Yeah, they've got that quite distinctive look, haven't they?
Well, it's the 9 on the back, it's the 19 and the 29, and they only saw half the back of the shirt, so I just went with Mason Mount, and suddenly he lifted his head and you could see it was Havertz. But talking of Mason Mount, actually, he's 1 goal in 18. He scored against Iceland for England in November, but you have to go back to September for the last time he scored for Chelsea. So he's overdue a goal.
So Frank's got something about him. Frank likes to play him. I think he's got a choice of so many midfield players. I think he's trying his best to be, to get continuity, but he seems to, move players around. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does make a substitution in midfield. I'm just looking at Havertz in there. He's just not in the game at all.
He's been quiet, hasn't he, for the most part. Pulisic nearly got away there for Chelsea. It's Thiago Silva. Zouma over the halfway line, lifts the ball long to the left-hand side. Chilwell made the run. Raphinha tracked him well and volleys away left-footed, only as far as Mason Mount. A little bit of time and space on the left-hand side to feed Kante with a burst of speed inside towards Havertz. Still going. Kai Havertz. It's a good run from him from deep, and eventually his cross was blocked at source by Calvin Phillips, and it's a corner.
Yeah, that's his first real impact on the game, Havertz, and I was in certain ways hoping that it was going to be a decent end product for him. In the end, he's earned Chelsea a corner, but I mean, it was as well, you're talking about a good run by Havertz. It was good defending as well by Calvin Phillips, who followed him all the way, didn't stop and wait for anybody else. He dealt with the situation himself.
Mason Mount to take this corner from the Chelsea right. It's their 5th corner of the game. Give movement in the box. He whips it in towards the 6-yard box. It's glanced on towards the far side by Zouma. It was Werner that was challenging for it, and the referee has blown for a free kick. Dangerous position here. Alioski.
It certainly was. I mean, I'm surprised he's actually really gone for that. He shouldn't have maybe gone for that challenge, considering where it is at that given time as well. When he didn't know Chilwell was coming there, to be perfectly honest. He's gone with his right foot. He was just looking at the ball, and Chilwell's come to get the ball on his blind side.
Reece James has gone across to take it. He's standing alongside Ben Chilwell, so it's the right foot, left foot option. As a 2-man wall, it's over towards the corner flag. It's not really a shooting opportunity, it's most definitely a crossing opportunity. It's as good as a corner, if not better. Reece James, and then the glancing header at the near post from Cole Havertz, but he put it over the top of the crossbar. I said it wasn't a shooting opportunity. I reckon that was probably going towards goal, the ball in.
Yeah, it was definitely going towards the keeper, would have dealt with it, but Havertz gets there, and he got too big a touch in the end. I mean, if he got it in, it would have been the slightest and the greatest of touches for that to go in. He just got a full touch in it, but again, that was him. That's just another impact he's made on the game. Maybe, hopefully, he's slowly getting himself involved in the general play of his Chelsea team.
Kai Havertz signed in the summer, having made a decent impact in the Bundesliga. It's Llorente for Leeds United. Tall central defender on as a sub early on after the injury to Koch. It's Reece James, takes a touch, turns it inside, and Kai Havertz has certainly been more influential for Chelsea in this second half. Drives forward, it comes off of Matthäus Klich, and that will be a throw to Chelsea, who are having a lion's share of possession in these last few minutes. So still 1-1, still all to play for. John has tweeted us at TalkSport Live. I'm sure the commentary team are doing their best, but can't anyone else hear us? He's called Kante. He's called Kante. That's what I've been saying, Kante, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll read that again in a second, make sure I got it right, as the header goes back by just trying to see, that was Stuart Dallas. I thought for a moment it was going to elude his goalkeeper. I'm not quite sure, but I've been saying Kante anyway.
It's pronounced Kante, isn't it?
Kante. Well, you know what, there is a pronunciation guide that we are always pointed towards, and I tend to try and go towards that where possible. Consistency.
Yep.
Anyway, what I can tell you is it's definitely 1-1 here, and Leeds United are on the attack with Klich. He knocks the ball against Kante and behind for a corner. And Leeds United are about to make another change. Not before this corner is taken, though. Sweeping move forward from Leeds, and it's their turn to ask questions. Across to take their third corner. The game is Matthäus Klich. Drives it in towards the back post, and it's turned over the top of the crossbar by Raphinha. Well, he was on target last week against Everton, and it come at him very, very quickly, and he was unable to react quick enough to divert the shot. the second time of asking, below the crossbar.
Yeah, well,
he hit the first one and he hit the second one as well.
Yeah, well, that corner was definitely something, part of a plan, because it was a wonderful volley with his instep, and then the follow-up, it did come back quickly, and I'm sure that he just by his reaction says he knows he should have done better with that one to come back to him. I don't know if I'd agree with him that one, because I thought he'd done well just to get his foot on it, the speed it come back at him at. Yeah,
it was an instinctive strike. Poveda is on for Jackson, for Jack Harrison. It's Leeds United have the ball inside their own half and go back to their goalkeeper Meslier. Poveda is an England under-20 international who scored twice last month against Iceland for the England under-20s. Signed from Manchester City back in January of this year on a free transfer. Leeds win a free kick, which they take quickly, too quickly for the referee's liking. An almost lip-read referee for today's game. Kevin Friend, he was saying, look, I'm in charge here. If I say take it again, you're going to take it again. I don't need the ball moving. I think it was a moving ball, and that's why he pulled it back. So here's Llorente. He's got Giroud chasing him down, so he finds his central defensive partner Leon Cooper. He's got a bit of time. Raking ball from the centre circle out towards the right. The first touch for Poveda as Raphinha switches back to the left hand side again. And Leeds United, the ball long, it's gone out of play right down by the corner flag for a throw into Chelsea deep inside their own half. We're edging up towards the hour mark, and a little lull in this game, but get the feeling it's just waiting for something to happen here, Paul, that there's more drama in this game yet to unfold.
Yeah, certainly is, and it's just both sides have tightened up a little bit. Both sides were quite open, and they've both closed up. Leeds have even closed up a bit and not allowing Chelsea to play from deep areas, so it just maybe just needs a goal. It needs a goal really from either side, just to again get a team chasing the game a little bit more.
Claudio Ranieri was in charge of Chelsea the last time they played Leeds at home in the Premier League. It was the last game of the season. They won 1-0. It was Claudio Ranieri's last game in charge, and Leeds United, and for them it was their last appearance in the top flight for 16 years. And they're back with a vengeance this season for sure, and they're certainly keeping good company at the top table, and they're not letting anybody down. It's Chilwell to Thiago Silva. N'Golo Kante links up with Giroud. Giroud finding Kai Havertz, who got the shot in, and the second time, good double save from the goalkeeper. It's a triple save from the goalkeeper, because Mason Mount got the third shot in, and you have to take your hat off. Ilan Meslier, the Leeds United goalkeeper, stopped the first shot from Werner, the second shot from Werner, and the third one from Mason, and they were all very good saves.
They were. I mean, the first one goes at his near post, the second one goes at his near post, he saves with his feet, and then the ball falls to a Mount, and he actually blocks it with his body then. But I thought Werner could have hit that earlier. He decides not to, but he still hits the target at the near post, which a keeper saves. Wonderful goalkeeping.
I'm going to take a bit of credit away of it. The third one was actually deflected. I think it was Leon Cooper got his body there ahead of the goalkeeper. The body of the goalkeeper was right behind him though. In comes the corner, and the header down, and Chelsea have the lead through Zouma. Kurt Zouma heads the ball down, and from behind in the first half early on against Leeds United, Chelsea now leads, and Kurt Zouma up from the back. Well, no defender has scored more goals in the Premier League this season than Kurt Zouma, and on the hour mark he's added to that tally. It's his fourth of the season, and Leeds United didn't deal with a run, and Kurt Zouma climbed highest unopposed to angle the ball downwards and into the bottom corner, and it's Chelsea 2, Leeds 1.
Well, I mean, if you're going to allow Kurt Zouma to make a run, that means you're going to allow him to head the ball, because he's an athlete in a way. He's a strong boy, and if you allow him to make a run and leap, you're not going to get anywhere near him, and no player ran with him, no player blocked his run, so he couldn't get a good leap, and it was a wonderful header. When you're talking about a textbook header, he's headed it down, so he comes up, bounced up just before the line, not a chance for the goalkeeper, and Chelsea now have opened this game up by putting themselves in front.
So, from behind, Chelsea now lead by 2-1, and with a win today will go top of the Premier League. It's likely to be an overnight stay. When you look at the fixtures tomorrow, Liverpool against Wolves, well, that's not a gimme. And Tottenham at home to Arsenal, of course, in the North London derby. Some great games tomorrow. I'll just run through them in a moment or two as Kante plays it back to his goalkeeper Mendy, who thrashes it long up towards the halfway line, cushioned forward by Liam Cooper. And there's a foul on Calvin Phillips. 4 games back-to-back tomorrow throughout the day. West Bromwich Albion against Crystal Palace up at the Hawthorns. Andrew Self and Paul Mortimer will be at that one. And then bottom of the table, Sheffield United taking on Leicester City. Alex Crook and Dean Hammond will be your commentary team at Bramall Lane. North London derby, Tim Long and Kevin Watson at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And then Liverpool against Wolves, finishing it all off, Tom Rennie and David Connolly. We're sending them up to Anfield for that one. That is going to be a dramatic day of football for sure. Today, so far, Burnley 1, Everton 1, Manchester City 2, Fulham 0, and Manchester United behind at half-time at West Ham. Just like last week, they came from behind to win by 3-1 in London. Leeds, their record in London is a pretty poor one. They've won one of their last 21 league away games against London sides. Last win was 2017 against Queen's Park Rangers. They've only taken 1 point from the last 8 visits to the capital, and it's beginning to look like that run might continue tonight, Paul. It's funny how things like that unfold, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a strange one. I've seen them a few times play at Loftus Road, Leeds, and I've never seen them win there. I missed that one in 2017, but yeah, they not seem to be the most comfortable of teams when they come to London, but I think they look at this game and say to themselves they should still be in it at this moment in time.
Well, it's 2-1 to Chelsea. They've been the better side in this second half, but it's still in the balance to that degree that Leeds United are only a goal away from drawing level. Chelsea will want a third. They do have Champions League action coming up in the week, but they're lucky that they've already qualified for their Champions League group. It's their last group game on Tuesday. Krasnodar are the visitors here, and I can imagine there's probably going to be 10 or 11 changes from this side made by Frank Lampard for that one. And they go to Everton and then Wolves in the space of 4 days. It's a midweek fixture coming up the week after next, so next Saturday and then Tuesday. 2 away games for Chelsea. And for Leeds United, they are at home to West Ham on Friday, and the following Wednesday at home to Newcastle before a trip to Manchester United, and then a home game at Christmas against Burnley. We'll see another change from Chelsea in a minute. Leeds United have the ball at the moment with their captain Liam Cooper, who was once sent off by today's referee Kevin Friend a few years ago. He's not averse to a red card. Liam Cooper, he's been sent off 5 times in his career. Here's Mason Mount up against Phillips, 2 England international colleagues. Pulisic dribbling his way past Klich and then turning full circle, finding himself in a bit of space, edge of the penalty area. Timo Werner cushions a header down. Giroud has to stretch that left foot to guide it back to Havertz. N'Golo Kante starts again for Chelsea. Silva, great skill from Silva, sends it wide to the left hand side, and Mason Mount checks back to Chilwell. Chilwell continued his run forward, run straight into Phillips. I don't think Phillips knew an awful lot about it, and the referee says play on.
It would have been easier for Ben Chilwell to stay on his feet rather than fall over.
Yep,
that was more harder work for him.
He's a stocky figure, is Phillips. He's big and strong, and here comes that second Chelsea change.
Doesn't surprise me, this substitution.
Havertz that's coming off. Chelsea are 3/4 of the way through. They hope will be a 3-point haul. Teo Kovacic is the player coming on. So the Croat is on for Karl Havertz, the German. Kovacic, whose last Chelsea goal was December last year. He's certainly overdue a goal. Giroud does well to win the ball back. The referee's whistle has gone, and Leeds United are presented with a free kick deep inside their own half. It's Liam Cooper. I'm not quite sure what's amusing the crowd. There's some unusual noises, but it's nice to have proper crowd effects rather than the sound effects that we've had to endure for most of the season, Paul. And I think we're all glad to see the back of those.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing about the noise sounds quite strange, maybe because I haven't heard it, or maybe because there's so few of them, but it seems a little bit high-pitched. I think it definitely needs a few more people doing it to get a bit of bass on it.
It's funny because there's a women's game tomorrow at one of the games, and they've asked the supporters to turn up with a face mask and a saucepan and a wooden spoon to bang on the saucepan. Here come Chelsea with Chilwell down the left hand side, pulls it back, and it's going to go in. No, it's wide from Giroud. Well, they were queuing up there. Pulisic was in there. It could well have ended up in the back of the net. Giroud wouldn't have known a lot about it as he guided it wide, but great play. It's all fast and furious, wasn't it, from Chelsea?
Yeah, I don't know. Is that chalk? I think it's come off
Giroud.
Giroud, I think it's come off Pavetta initially, and it's going to come back, and then it's come off Giroud past that near post. But he's always in and amongst it, Giroud.
Yep. Alioski has departed, and Rodrigo is on. He's a like-for-like player, and will go straight in. If we're going to be ultra critical of Olivier Giroud, and let's be, because he scored 4 goals in the week, he took his chances. He could have had 4 today, couldn't he, really, when you look back at the early header that he put wide, that one he put wide, the one that was cleared off the line by Werner, and of course his goal. But that's been a little bit harsh on him, isn't it?
I still think, I just see him as a team player. I just like him, what he tries to do all the time. And
well, it's just giving the ball away, and then he upends Luke Ayling. Not his best moment. It seems every time that Llorente gets the ball, and here he is now, there are high pitch jeers from the crowd. He's obviously gestured to the crowd at some point, or done something to amuse them.
Yeah,
strange, but anyway, Leeds have won the ball back through Ayling. Points at the ball, the referee says yeah, no, go on, play on, and then helped on by Raphinha. In fact, it's Rodrigo again. He does play predominantly down the left-hand side. It's a good ball in. Having scored at one end, Zouma has to leap across his 6-yard box and tuck that ball behind for a corner.
Yeah, that was just the first time they've really been stretched, Chelsea, even though Kurt Zouma dealt with it well. Leeds are not out of this in a moment, they're going to keep going.
There's a good ball in from Pavetta. Comes across. Up in the air from Rodrigo. Chelsea can deal with it. It's rolled down the line towards Pulisic. Pulisic can turn on the burners, cuts inside and finds Werner. Werner goes on the outside, right hand side, towards the edge of the penalty area. 2 Leeds players quickly double up on him. Kovacic driving from right to left and finding Mason Mount. Now out to Chilwell, forward from the left back position. Good ball in from him. Giroud trying to get there in front of Llorente, who does well to head it away. Chelsea try and go again. Challenged by Phillips. Chelsea have it once again. Driving run forward from Kovacic into the penalty area. Has to turn back on himself though. And a shot from distance, stinging the palms of Meslier. It's a shot from Mason Mount, and it was easy for the Leeds United goalkeeper.
Yeah, it was straight at him. Not great power in the end. It was an easy one, just skipped in front of him. I think that was the only problem he might have had.
Chelsea 2, Leeds United 1, 19 minutes to go. And don't forget we are on Twitter at TalkSport Live. Drop us a tweet and say hi. Keep us company in these latter stages. We're hoping there's a little bit more drama between now and the final whistle. Chelsea have had to do what Manchester United done earlier, and that's come from behind. Second half possession, It's 54% Leeds, 53% in the first half for Chelsea, so very even in terms of possession in the whole game. Here come the visitors with Dallas on the left-hand side. Towards Rodrigo, into the penalty area, towards Bamford, and he very nearly latched onto the pass from Rodrigo. I don't think he expected it, even though he knew that was what Rodrigo was going to try. And it did just get the better of Zouma, but not quite into the feet of Bamford.
It was just the angle run he's made. He's made a great angle run, but the ball wasn't straight that Rodrigo gave to him. It was a good ball, but he couldn't get the ball straight from the angle run, and that's why he ends up almost running past it. If he did try and get to it, he'd have to stretch, and there's more chance of him doing himself an injury. But it was a great improvisation there by Rodrigo.
Yeah, Rodrigo's gone into the midfield, and Stuart Dallas has gone in at left back. Here's Klich, trying to feed that ball into Rodrigo, who didn't quite receive it, but he's won it back. And now Phillips through to Bamford. Bamford stretches out his left foot, but gives it straight to N'Golo Kante, and then fights back. That's good defending that from Patrick Bamford. Dashed a good 20 yards to catch up with N'Golo Kante and get the tackle in and win the ball back for Leeds United down this left-hand side with Raphinha.
I don't know whether or not after he's done that he's got cramp, or he might have just tweaked his hamstring. So I've just saw him limp away from it, and I see him running back, and he's pulling his toe up towards him, which is normally what you do if you've got cramp. But he might have just tweaked a hamstring. I'm sure Leeds are banking on it, hoping it's cramp, because if they lose him, in certain ways they've got a problem, because where a goal's going to come from, I'm looking here, who's going to go there and make a difference and put the ball in the back of net for Leeds United?
Klich and Helder Costa have both got 2 goals between them, and that's the next best. They're really relying on his goals at the moment. Here come Chelsea once again, forward with Kovacic, who's desperate to try and make his presence felt, and the first yellow card of the game has gone to Llorente. On top of the gestures from the crowd, he's now just received the first yellow.
I don't know whether or not they've got to in the crowd, because you can hear every single word. That must be the worst thing, and sometimes you play in front of big crowds, you think, oh no, but be able to playing in front of a crowd, and anyone who says anything, you can actually directly look them in the eye and know it's them, because everyone is spread out. I don't know if that's good or bad.
It's a free kick to Chelsea. It's not quite in shooting range, although I have seen people hit them from here before. James is standing over the ball. Looks like he's going to be the man to deliver. Right-footed. Zouma is forward. Giroud's in there as well. Making the run to is Chilwell, and it'll come out to Chilwell. No, it won't. It'll go to Rodrigo instead. Rodrigo onto his left foot, switches it from right to left. Very nearly picked up by Timo Werner, just bounced beyond him, and Leeds United still have possession in the left back position with Stuart Dallas, back in London today, former Brentford player of course. He's played his trade earlier on in his career in London. It's Liam Cooper.
I need someone to tell me why they're doing that to Llorente.
Nothing. I would imagine it's probably a reaction or something. It's a kind of gesture, and it's like you say, it might be getting to him, but here's a chance for number 3 for Chelsea, and it's a quite brilliant save from Meslier to keep out the effort from Timo Werner. Werner looked certain to score. It's a great ball in from the left-hand side from Mason Mount.
It's just one of those balls, and he's just going and going, and as the ball skips, it's going just to the outside of the far post, and by the time he gets there, it allows the keeper to shuffle across and then close down the space in front of the goal, so he narrows the angle and he makes it really tight for Werner. We have to come out and say is that it's a really good save and good work by the keeper. Really moved his feet really, really well just to get across there. Werner, some people say he should score. I think the job was made difficult for him by good goalkeeping.
It's a corner which will be taken on this right hand side by Mason Mount. An outswinger with his right boot. And it comes, and a header towards goal from Giroud, and he got away from the Leeds United defence again, but the header was over the top and again it was sloppy from Leeds.
It was really sloppy from Leeds. He's actually used Kurt Zouma to get the block in, so Llorente couldn't get anywhere near him. He had to go the long way round, and then he's actually bent down, and I think he's just got too much on it in the end, and that's why it goes over from about 8 yards.
Bernard Prempe Bonzo has just tweeted, the French guys are always on point for Chelsea. And then precious Nicky Barry has just tweeted at TalkSport Live, Chelsea are winning this match. Up the Chelsea, up the Captain America.
Rodrigo, he's come on and he's made an impact already by coming on the sub.
Olivier Giroud has got his first Premier League goal of the season. To add to all his cup goals, he's got his start. Frank Lampard opted to go for him ahead of Tammy Abraham. And for the last 11.5 minutes plus injury time, that's Tammy Abraham who comes up to replace the Frenchman. He'll be pleased to have scored, but he could have had more, couldn't he, Paul?
Yeah, he could have and should have had more, to be perfectly honest. I'm sure he'd be saying that to himself as well, because I don't think I've met a striker yet who would be maybe happy with one when he knows he could have had maybe at least 2 or 3.
Click for Leeds United to Cooper, just inside his own half, rolls it to the left-hand side. The busy Poveda runs straight into Kovacic and wins a free kick. Vader's come over to this left-hand side now, and they've sent Raphinha back to the right. Rodrigo, that was heavy, and suddenly there's a chance for Timo Werner to break towards the edge of the penalty area. Feeds Tammy Abraham, first touch for him. In fact, it's not the first touch for him because he didn't get to the ball before Liam Cooper, who slid in and stretched to divert the ball away.
Yeah, the first ball and first involvement, I should say, for Tammy Abrahams, and he actually didn't help Werner because he's made a very narrow run. We're just watching a replay here of when Poveda initially gets hold of that ball, and the contact was made on him.
The penalty area.
By Chilwell.
Yeah.
And we saw a similar goal given to Brighton against Liverpool, didn't we, with Danny Welbeck?
Yes.
Gave a penalty. So I wonder why that wasn't given. Maybe because it wasn't clear and obvious, but yet it was clear and obvious when it was at Brighton.
It's another Chelsea corner. Mason Mount swings it inwards again, and this time it's a header from Reece James in through a crowd and behind for a goal kick. They are dangerous from those corners. It's a little susceptible. That's where the goals come from. If he goes down there, looking at it on the monitor again, Paul, if he goes down there, that's something that they might well have caught the attention of.
Well, they had to look at it, to be honest. They've already set the precedence with that already, and anything like that, any kind of contact on a foot or anything, they've virtually come out and said that's clear and obvious, so they're going to do it. And we all know it. That wasn't really clear and obvious because we never initially saw that until it was shown back again. And then I'm having to use a memory to think about, I've seen that before.
Yeah. Good old VAR.
Yeah.
So it's of course come under a bit of scrutiny indirectly in the West Ham Manchester United game, when Manchester United scored with a long ball forward from the goalkeeper. It looked like it bent out of play, curled back in, and they played on and scored. It's a discussion for another time, but certainly David Moyes, as we heard at half time, was not too happy about that decision. Pulisic sends it wide to the right hand side, but sloppy from Kovacic. Tammy Abraham wins it back. He's a completely different player to Olivier Giroud, so a new set of problems for Leeds United's defence. Getting the tackle in was Calvin Phillips, who celebrated his birthday last Wednesday, and international of course nowadays. Started the last two after a spell on the sidelines with a shoulder injury. Joe Ely has just tweeted us, excellent day of football. I've enjoyed all 4 matches today on TalkSport here in Indiana, USA. Stay strong to the end here, lads. Well, we're trying. Aren't we, Paul?
Yeah, I'm just saying, what 4 games, Core, that's incredible. To watch 4 games.
Here's Mount. Trying to win the corner, I think, more than get the cross in. It's been cleared away by Phillips, but given straight to Chilwell, just inside the Leeds United half. Kante. Silva. So, giving that away. Now Bamford couldn't quite reach it with his left foot. It's been won back by Kovacic. Werner. Now Mason Mount. It's been a while since he scored. His shot took a deflection, which took the sting out of it. And Leeds United's goalkeeper stopped it from going out for a corner, which it would have been because it took that deflection. Now Leeds can build up with Rodrigo on the left-hand side. Poveda, he's been quite prominent as well. The 2 subs have come on and just given Leeds a little bit more spark, a little bit more pace and freshness, haven't they, Paul?
They certainly have. Both of them come on, they want the ball, they run with the ball, they run without the ball. They're definitely causing Chelsea more problems. It'd be interesting if they were to go and score, how Chelsea would react to that, because they haven't really killed this game off yet.
Here's Dallas. Back to Klich. That's a good ball. Rodrigo into the penalty area, pulls it back, and Bamford couldn't quite wrap a foot around it. And it ends up going behind. But that goes down as a decent chance for Leeds United, who haven't given up hope.
Substitutions have suggested that as well. That it was Thiago Silva who gets his foot across there. Otherwise, that might have just gone on to Bamford. But I have to say, they really do need to close this game off, Chelsea, because they've lost so many games, or given away winning positions by late goals.
Silva is down at the moment. Philip Adawa has tweeted us at TalkSport Live. Well done, guys. Hope Chelsea score 1 more goal to seal the win. Listening to you in Lagos, Nigeria. Hello, Philip, and thanks for your tweet. Thanks for everyone that's tweeted us so far this evening. We've got 5.5 minutes plus injury time remaining here at Stamford Bridge. Whilst there's a break in play, let me remind you, tomorrow we've got 4 games here on Premier League Live. West Brom against Crystal Palace, rather. Andrew Self and Paul Mortimer will be up at the Hawthorns for the lunchtime kick-off to get things rolling. Bottom of the table, Sheffield United against Leicester City with Alex Crook and Dean Hammond from Bramall Lane. Then Spurs against Arsenal. What a cracker that will be. Kevin Watson will be joining Tim Long at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for commentary of that game. And then Liverpool against Wolves wraps things up. Tom Rennie and David Connolly, your commentary team at Anfield. Thiago Silva is back up on his feet, and I think he's going to be okay. And it's a goal kick, I think, that shot, which seems a while ago now, from Patrick Bamford. It did actually hit Bamford and eluded all and sundry around him and did go out for a goal kick. It's Thiago Silva limping slightly. I think he's going to have to go off before he can come back on.
That's mostly what he's got the ump about.
Yeah. He's got to walk 50 yards to come back on into the position he was already in. He's holding the back of his leg. I hope it's not too serious a knock. Chelsea and Leeds have both used 3 substitutes. Rodrigo helps it on, but it was a floppy header and really set the pulses running for Leeds United. They look to get themselves into this game. Time is running out for them. They're trailing by 2-1 here. It's Llorente. Introduction to Llorente. Those silly girly screams echo around the stadium every time he gets the ball. Here's Timo Werner nicking the ball off of Dallas, who slipped, and Werner feeds Abraham first time whips it across the face of goal. It was only a few inches wide, and if that goes in, Chelsea would have claimed all 3 points for sure, but it was just wide.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be honest, if he had whipped that across the goal, then I think Pulisic was on the far post, but he decides to shoot and he scuffs it, and that's why it misses by quite a gap. But if he just rolled that along the 6-yard spot, Pulisic was actually there running on it. He was frustrated at the end that he wasn't looked at as somebody to maybe put that ball in the back of the net and kill this game off.
Rodrigo to Phillips, back to Llorente. So be careful, Raphinha, turning the full circle in that centre circle, and he's a little exposed. Tammy Abraham's won it back for Chelsea, but now Leeds have it again with Dallas. Dallas to Raphinha. Chelsea get it clear through the number 10, Pulisic. Ball back into the penalty area again. Bamford was challenging. It was a good header from Thiago Silva. It's back up in the air again. Ayling. Now Poveda. Good defending by Reece James. Poveda got the block in at the expense of a goal kick to Chelsea, and that just kills a few more seconds. And applause of appreciation from the lower shed end behind that goal that Chelsea are defending. 2 minutes to go. Chelsea 2, Leeds United 1.
Yeah, well, Reece James won that ball in the end off Poveda because of strength. In the end, he's tried to go around him. Be honest, you have to go around a long way. If you're the size of Poveda up against someone like Reece James, it's a really long way, and at the end you take a nudge, and that's what happened in those circumstances, and he played the ball onto him to earn the goal kick for Chelsea.
KingSo.io has just tweeted at TalkSport Live. Good evening, guys. How I wish that my Arteta will learn the techniques young Lampard is making waves with to avoid a sacking. It's a Kupa in Port Harcourt in Nigeria. Well, Arsenal could do with a win, and not many people have fancied him tomorrow, Paul, at the Tottenham Hotspur.
Not really, not with the way they've been going form-wise. Since that Manchester United win, it hasn't been very good for them. But again, we have to say it's a big London derby, so you
never know.
You never know. You don't always normally say you never go by league positions in games like that.
Arsenal have been playing fairly well, it seems, in the Europa League. Just can't seem to hit the right note in the Premier League at the moment.
It actually was said by someone I saw the other day saying that what he's got to do as Arteta, he's got to lie to the players and tell them it's a Europa League game. That's what someone said.
Leeds United haven't given up hope here. Here's Ian Poveda. Kante.
I'll tell you what, I don't know how that is a throw-in for Chelsea.
No, I thought that.
Yeah, it's strange.
There was no complaints from the Leeds United players. It's a snarl on the face of Marcelo Bielsa, but he usually is, isn't there?
Yeah, but the thing about it though is I've watched him a few times shouting. He's actually shouting in English.
Yeah, I've always wondered that. It's multinational dressing rooms and everything, but not speaking in English. I mean, it's a weird one. But yeah, like you say, I've seen that a couple of times where some of his communication from the touchline is in broken English, but he's not prepared to do any media work in English. He's a bit shy of the cameras, isn't he? We're 30 seconds or so into 4 minutes of stoppage time. Missed the ball going up. We've had such fun chatting along. And Chelsea have the ball at the moment. Tammy Abraham nods it inside, but it's been picked up by Calvin Phillips. Confident ball from him over towards the right hand side, and Luke Ayling. It's a good block from Mason Mount. All hands to the pump for Chelsea at the moment, who are determined to hang on to these 3 points and climb back up to the top of the Premier League tree for tonight, if not for longer. Liverpool and Tottenham can both overtake them with home wins of their own tomorrow. Phillips, Dallas trying to flick the ball on. He was losing his balance and ended up giving it straight to Reece James. His clearance has gone out of play. It's a Leeds United throw just inside their own half, but time is running out for them, Paul.
Certainly is. The one thing they have done, they have definitely made it difficult for Chelsea, Leeds, and every game they play they do really give everything for the calls when they do play. But the one thing they're just missing an element is you're not really sure who's going to go and score goals. There's no great belief. Mendy, for all what they've done so far, Mendy hasn't had a shot to save this half.
No, they've been disappointing in front of goal this second half, Leeds United. They've got the ball at the moment, but it's inside their own half with Liam Cooper. He's crossed the halfway line now, and he's looking left, right and centre for the best option. He's deemed the best option to be his full-back Dallas. Scoops the ball towards the right-hand side, and Llorente. And bringing all 4 of those defenders into use. It's Ayling to Calvin Phillips. And we need to get it forward fairly soon, Leeds. They've got less than 2 minutes of injury time remaining. Forward towards Bamford. Bamford battling away, but Tammy Abraham back there to win the ball back. And now a chance for Kovacic to get forward, and he puts a lovely ball through to Timo Werner. Timo Werner into the penalty area, has a look up, and there is goal number 3. And Chelsea finish it off, and they finish it off in style with a goal from Pulisic. A great counter-attack, and Leeds United were torn open, and Chelsea confirm all 3 points with a late goal. Pulisic the scorer. It's Chelsea 3, Leeds United 1.
But the one thing you do know is that you're not going to catch Werner. Once you put the ball in front of him and he's on anybody's shoulder, you're not going to catch him. He's just such a strong runner, and Pulisic makes a great run as well. He is so quick as well. He cuts right across the front now. I think it is Luke Ayling, and Luke Ayling had a choice there, either foul him or just let him run on. And it was Llorente's run across, and Llorente's looked like he's pulled a hamstring as well, just as Pulisic has run across the front of him, and it's killed the game off. Maybe a bit late for Frank's liking, but he likes the scoreline, by the way.
Yes, he's certainly animated down below us on the touchline. Stark contrast to Marshall, knowing that it's another defeat in the capital for Leeds United. Chelsea 3, Leeds United 1, and a first Premier League goal of the season for Christian Pulisic. And his last Premier League goal was against Liverpool in July, so it's been a while coming. First goal of the season in the Premier League. He has scored in the Cups. Down goes Pulisic. Triple tumble. That might just invite a second yellow card of the evening from Kevin Friend, and indeed it does. And it's gone to Raphinha.
Yeah, he knew exactly what he was doing. He didn't leave Kevin Friend any choice at all. It's just his frustrations come out, and I think he's trying to make his first real tackle, and his tackle was on a player rather than the ball.
The 4 minutes of added time are up. There might be just a little bit additional because of the goal. But that goal from Christian Pulisic has ensured that in their first game back inside Stamford Bridge, Chelsea have taken all 3 points, and with it they climb back to the top of the Premier League table. The final score